Okay, so right now we're on to our aprons. So up on the slideshow, I've got kind of a wordy bit at the top and then the numerical order there of what we're going to be doing. So, and then the visual, here we go. So what we're doing is you're taking your 1x3 boards. We haven't talked about the dimensions of lumber just yet. We mentioned the 2x4s. So similarly, a 1x3 is also not 1x3, meaning this is 3/4 of an inch and this is 2.5 inches. So we're going to be taking these boards and turning them into trapezoids to then go underneath our tabletop where our legs will connect. So our magic number is 5 for this. It's because I played with legs at home. I tried 10 degrees and they were just really sticking out a lot further than the edge of the table than I like. So just a little bit of an angle so you can tell that you learned the compound angle, but it looks nice. It's not too extreme. So 5 degrees is what we're playing with. In order to get that, we're going to miter down here. So just working with the miter right now, not the bevel just yet. We're going to adjust down here. I've already done it on these 2 saws. So right here, I'll show you guys how. So you'll unlock here, and then usually you squeeze this. Let's see if it's working. No. This is a very loved tool. So this one, for some reason, I figured it out. You squeeze this bar and you pull it towards your body, and then you can shift it side to side. All right, so down on the plate, I've got numbers here, and so I found 5 with this little red indicator, so I'm going to tighten it. You're going to have different tools at home. Maybe they're loved, maybe they're used a lot, so it's kind of nice to be able to check that angle with something like a protractor as simple as this. So what I'll do, like I said, the safety moves up and down, so I'm just lifting it for demonstration, certainly not touching the trigger. I'm going to bring this protractor up against the fence and then up against the blade. The one thing I'm looking out for is sometimes these little blades, these little tips can kind of stick out a little further. So I'm going to try to make sure that the edge of my protractor doesn't bump into one of those, because then it will knock it off a degree or so. So I'll push it up against the blade and then up against the fence, and then just carefully grabbing this part. When you know what you're looking for, it's easier to find. So what this protractor is saying is, here is 45, and 5 off of 40 is 50. So that 0 is lined up with 50. There's a bunch of other numbers there, but we're looking for something that indicates 5. So 0 at 50 is 5 off of 40. The other one actually says 90 at the top instead of 45. But now you have an idea. So we've checked this. Now we're good to go. It's locked nice and tight. Okay, so for the slideshow, number 1, cut 3 inches-ish off. You can keep this piece. Now you've got one side of your trapezoid. Okay, so we're going to bring it over. A couple different stations. This miter saw that's built up here has the nice wide foundation for you to be able to set your wood on. Something like this that we just set up. We've got a helping hand right here, so this is a tool that will help catch the extra piece of wood. Or over on the table saw, you can go ahead and stack up some scrap pieces of wood. The thing you want to avoid is having that helping hand be too far up, because then you're creating another beveled angle. If anything, you want this to be just a little bit lower than the piece or the foundation here, the plate. Yes. Okay. All right. So, like I said, about 3 inches off to estimate. We'll go at about here. This one, the safety is this thumb piece, and then I pull the trigger. So before we move away, we're going to flip it like so. Number 3, measure the short side. So we're going to do 2 at 7 inches, 2 at 13.5. So this is the short side here. So you're going to take your tape measure and on that short side, we're going to go right to the top. Maybe even lifting it up is going to help. Go over to 7 inches, make that little mountain shape like we've been practicing. And then, now we have this little indication here. And instead of using our speed square that's going to give us a 90-degree angle, there's a couple techniques you can do. So this piece right here has 5 degrees, and maybe you even write that on there, because it does look pretty similar to the 90 degrees. But you can use this, place it on your piece of wood, and then you have 5 degrees. So you make sure it's nice and flush on either side. Don't worry if this isn't exact, because the tool is exact. So if you, with your hands, kind of accidentally made a 6-degree angle, that's okay. you know that the top is going to direct you for that exact 7 inches down to your 5-degree angle from the tool. So once I have this, push it up against the fence, and just like we were doing before, drop the blade down, and now it's guided along that 5-degree cut. Measure from the short side. You could even take your piece of wood and drop it down, like so. The thing with this, not to get you too confused, but is when I make a mark by using a piece of wood, I really want the blade to hit that mark. So when I use a tape measure and I make a mark, it's going to be just to the side of that, if that makes sense. So when I use a tape measure, I'm going to exaggerate, but it's going to end up over on this side. When I put a piece of wood down, the pencils, if you think about it, is on the outside of that edge. So if you match it, you actually want the blade to go and hit the line. So I'm going to drop it right on the line. You'll end up with 2 7s and 2 13.5, and then we're going to go over to the table saw. And on the table saw, we're going to, and I'll just do a quick demo.